Welcome to The Explainer. So, we've all seen the headlines, right? They promise these fully autonomous AIs that can just go to work for hours on their own. But behind all that hype, what's really going on? How are these AI agents actually being used in the real world today? Well, let's dig into the data and separate the myth from the reality.
The dream is pretty simple. You tell an AI to handle some complex, multi-hour task, and it just does it, all on its own. It's a really powerful vision for the future of work. But is that actually where we are right now? The latest data paints a much more nuanced and, honestly, a way more interesting picture.
Okay, so to understand what's really happening, we first have to get a handle on the dream. Let's start with a study that kind of shaped everyone's expectations and really fueled this whole vision of total AI autonomy.
Right, this is the famous meter study. Now, there's a really common misconception here. This study isn't measuring how long the AI itself is chugging away. Nope, it's measuring the duration of a task that an AI can complete based on how long it would take a human to do it. So, when they say a 5-hour task, it means a task that would take you or me 5 hours to get done.
And this is the picture that got everybody so excited. You saw charts just like this one, showing this clear, relentless march forward. Models tackling longer and longer tasks. The takeaways seem totally obvious. Truly independent AI agents were right around the corner.
But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. The meter study measures what an AI can do in like a sterile lab setting. It's not measuring what we actually let it do out in the messy real world. And that difference, well, it changes everything.
So let's pivot to a new study from Anthropic that looks at real-world data from its Claude agent. This gives us this incredible peek behind the curtain at what's really going on when actual people put these powerful tools to work.
And the first reality check is, wow, it's a big one. The median time, so the typical time an AI agent actually works without any human getting involved, is just 45 seconds. Not hours, not even minutes, 45 seconds. That tells you right away that the story of autonomy is way more complicated than just raw AI skill.
So here's the crucial point. Autonomy isn't some one-way street that's just determined by how powerful the AI is. It's this dynamic interaction. It's really a dance between the human and the machine, and it's all built on trust, supervision, and collaboration.
And the data proves this out completely. Take a look at new users. They only let the AI work on its own automatically about 20% of the time. You can think of it just like you're onboarding a new junior employee, right? You're checking every single step they take before you let them move on.
But watch what happens. As users start to build trust over time, as they get more comfortable with what the AI can do, boom, they double that auto-approval rate to 40%. They're learning to trust their new digital colleague and are willing to loosen the reins a bit.
Okay, now this is where it gets really fascinating, because the trend completely flips. You'd think that more trust means fewer interruptions, right? Well, wrong. Experienced users actually jump in and interrupt the AI almost twice as often as new users. So, what's going on there?
It's because their whole management style changes. They're not just approving things step by step anymore. They're becoming active pilots. They develop a real feel for the work, and they have these honed instincts for exactly when to jump in, make a course correction, and guide the AI toward a much better result.
But hey, the human isn't the only one hitting the pause button here. The AI is an active player in this dance too. On complex tasks, the Claude agent actually asks for help more than twice as often as humans step in to interrupt it. It kind of knows when it's getting out of its depth.
And the reasons they pause are totally different. We humans, we tend to interrupt to fix something, provide some missing context or make a correction. The AI, on the other hand, usually pauses to collaborate. Its number one reason for stopping is to present the user with a choice. Hey, should we go this way or that way? It wants to make sure it's aligned before it goes any further.
So if that's how we're working with AI, what exactly are we working on? The data gives us a great snapshot of the kinds of use cases that are popping up.
All right, no big surprise, software engineering is the number one use case. It makes up about half of all tasks. But the really interesting story, I think, is the other half. We're already seeing AI agents being used for back-office automation, marketing, sales, you name it. This tech is already breaking out of its coding sandbox in a big way.
All of this, it points to this really fascinating gap, right? A gap between what AI is technically capable of doing and what we are currently trusting it to do. And that has huge implications for where this all goes next.
This quote really just nails the key insight here. Researchers have a name for this. They call it a capability overhang.
And all that means is that the technology's potential is already outpacing our trust and our workflows. The AI can actually do more than we're letting it.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that real-world AI autonomy isn't just about raw technical power. It's a relationship. It's one that evolves with trust and experience. We're learning to manage AI like a new teammate, and while its use cases are growing every single day, its leash is still much, much shorter than its potential.
And this leaves us with this massive question about the future we're all building. Are we really on a path to creating a fully autonomous digital worker that we can just delegate tasks to? Or are we actually building a more powerful, more collaborative teammate? The data, right now, suggests it's the latter, but how we answer that question is going to shape everything.